Hello, friends and lovers. Welcome to a three-man meta video. We have finally got our spoilers. So we're going to show you some cards and talk about those cards for a little bit. So, as always, I'm your boy, I'm Leighton, and with me we've got James.
Hello.
And some schmuck called Danny.
Some schmuck who's also national champion and top 32 at Worlds and Euro.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
There we go. So didn't even need to give him a title because I knew he'd fucking do it himself. So welcome to our video. We finally got our spoilers. Let's show you the shit you came here for. So our first spoiler we've got is, boom, there he is, the Executioner. 8 health, 8 cost, red villain with a 1 stick, 2 sticks, 2 sticks for a resource, 2 blanks, and a little ability. After your opponent character is defeated, you may roll this die into your pool. So, take it away, boys. What do you think of the Executioner? The guy who we saw on screen for about 3 seconds before he was blown up by BB-8 in an ATDP.
Yeah, sick artwork. I'll be the first to say it. That's my professional analysis. My takeaway. 3 damage side seems good. Resource seems good. And a little bit of trivia for you guys. Any First Order Stormtrooper could be an Executioner if they felt that their loyalties were being tested. So basically it was like a punishment. So there's a bit of trivia for you.
A bit of trivia for you that I got from a book as well is that there was apparently on a rota where people got drawn like they're the day of being the Executioner.
Oh, well, my visual dictionary of The Last Jedi definitely doesn't agree with that.
That was from the Phasma book. That was from the Phasma book.
Well, what trumps what? You know, was that released before The Last Jedi?
I think no. Also, it was in. I think it was in the Phasma book, and I think it might have also been in the Last Jedi novelization. I can't remember. I audiobooked them. It's in one of them.
Lucasfilm needs to sort their shit out, basically, or Disney, or someone. You tell us what you think at home about this. Anyway, Danny, moving on to the actual card itself, I think you're probably better equipped than me to talk about it.
Is that because I'm such a great player and you're a scrub out?
No, it's because you don't care about the art and you don't care about the fluff and you're a miserable.
Yeah, I mean, I can't read, so when you started talking about books, I was a bit
switched
upset.
off.
Everyone knows that I just roll dice and then just point.
Yeah, you go.
Wow. I think you'll find I've got my speech down to all my titles pretty well. I don't just go.
I don't know.
I can remember numbers and words.
Just about.
But the numbers are really high numbers. Like, well, I suppose they're low numbers, but high finishing numbers.
Right, okay.
Just saying.
Who else is sick of this? Just me. Okay.
Yeah, just you. Don't worry, it's like 2 more months until Nationals and I lose my title. So
can't wait.
Gotta get this in.
Gotta
get it in. Right. Executioner. I mean, he's just Gary, right? He's Gary with 1 more hit point, melee, and 1 more point cost.
Melee Gary with
black
on his armor with an ability, yeah.
Sick.
So the question is the ability and the extra hit point worth a point? If he was 7 points, would he be better? If he was like a carbon copy of Trooper?
In a vacuum, no. But when you look at the wider scope of what Red Villain gives melee people, he's definitely worth the extra point.
Yeah, I think with the extra hit point, and we'll probably move on to it a bit later, but I feel like at the moment, within the current card pool, I'm a shit deck builder, but it's got to be Anakin double Executioner.
Well, yeah, I guess we were saying either Annie, you can go Elite Annie. You can also have Elite 7th Sister if you want to play with those Seeker droids and try and do some focus shenanigans and relive some Bro TK madness. Or you can also play Ketsu if you want to go yellow villain, completely ignore blue, and have Ketsu and have her day in the sun.
There could be something in that because as we go on to the next card, like there isn't a lot of redeployable red weapons.
Yeah, and she just has everything has redeploy when she's on the board and alive.
Yeah, and if the Executioners stay alive to the late game, and you play our other spoiler, which I suppose we'll get to.
Yeah, well, I think that's about the ability. This ability is almost as blank as Mace Windu's, where
Well-
you play a character with no ability until like, oh, something's happened. Sweet, it does something now. It's like an end game ability.
You say that, but then Balatic, like in the new 5 die, activates with his 2 Bala die and like I don't know, a
Well,
duck.
that's a good point. What about like training on this guy? Would you put training on this guy to get the? I mean, do you get both of his?
No,
die?
it says this die.
No.
There's been so many fucking idiots asking about training recently with clone troopers. Like,
Right,
oh, do I
yeah.
get to roll both his die in? No, it says this die,
Mm.
which means
But
it says
Palpatine-
explicitly in the rules this means 1 die.
But Palpatine's is this time when you resolve both of them, it means 2 of them. I was just presuming training. You add another die. It could transfer.
They
I
have
don't
they
think
have no continuity in writing their card names. Well, they didn't back then anyway.
Yeah.
But you know,
Without
like I
blaming
said to you
people.
guys a while ago, the only reason I want to do this podcast is just so I can call people idiots on the internet and have a
Yeah.
voice and actually do it vocally. So
Even if it did work, I don't think 2 resources, not redeployable, is
Mm.
worth this dice.
No,
at
yeah,
all.
yeah, yeah. No, you're right.
yeah.
Just in case.
I
Like
forgot
I was
about
saying,
balloting
Danny-
existed for a moment. So carry on.
Yeah,
I think-
Well, yeah, this is like a mini Balatic almost,
Yeah.
but obviously no one knows.
If you have 2 of these guys in play, one of your opponent's characters dies, and you roll in 2 executioner dice into the pool, and you hit the glorious 4 melee. It's pretty good.
Just a lot of ifs there.
Pretty spicy. You're also
Yeah.
very sad if you misplay and kill your opponent's character. Well, both your executioner dies are already in the pool.
Well, do
Get good.
what I would do and don't play like shit unless you're playing an under 15, and then play like shit and let him win you the game.
Mm.
Yeah.
'Cause he's
Yeah,
a nice
it's true.
man.
I was saying to Danny before we started that this would be so much better if it was just any characters defeated. Like if in a Bro TK, you've basically got like a mini leadership, like you price to failure one of your other characters, and then you can roll it in, and I don't know, it'd be
Like
a lot.
Greedo.
Yeah, like a Greedo, like it'd be so much more. I
I
don't know.
don't know. He's just going to hit a blank, right? And then he's dead, and then it removes from the pool.
Yeah,
This
Yeah,
is why
that's
you
true.
shouldn't be a card designer, James.
yeah, that's true.
Cool.
Do
So
you
I
want to
mean-
show the next card?
okay, so we'll go on to the weapon. So obviously, there's been a theme with some of spoilers. They're giving you cards that go together, and wapow, we have the Executioner's Axe, which is a non-unique weapon. 2 drop, 1 stick, 2 sticks to a resource, plus 2 sticks, 1 resource, double planks, and has the same ability as the Executioner. After an opponent's character is defeated, you may roll this die into your pool. So it's basically a DH17 with an ability with double the cost.
Yeah.
That's what I look at
And
it.
a resource instead of a shield. Don't forget that.
Resource instead of a shield, which is that worth 1 more resource to play the weapon?
Probably
And
not.
just going back to my point of, would you actually play training on this guy? This die is worse.
Yeah,
So
Well, it's not so bad if you're rolling that in with the character, because the character has no modified
Yeah.
sides. So
and,
it's
and
fine.
if a character did die, then you could roll both of them in, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, and then get really
Mhm.
sad when you roll the 2 for 1 on both of them after you spent 2
Mm.
resources for your turn playing this weapon.
My
Yeah.
big question for you guys was going to be: so you've got these, so you've got 2 of them. They've both got Executioner's Axe. You're playing the theme really hard.
yeah.
Because you've got, say, 4 dice in the pool now that have 2 blanks on them. Is this where we'll see like anger?
yeah.
If you start playing it with like Anakin or
I
Sid?
was thinking that because back with holocrons and everything, I was always trying to throw in those spicy angers, but I don't know. It's still only a 1 in 3 or whatever. Like, I would probably play it because I always throw anger in my deck just for the lols. But
If these become
it's
meta,
nice.
I'm definitely playing. It will all be mine? So when my opponent kills my character, rolls in these 4 dice, hit 4 blanks, I'll save 3 resources to play. It'll all be mine. And turn these all to what I want and smack them back.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'd play anger. That's because I'm a crazy guy that always tried to make anger work. But I don't know in today's game when there's so many better cards that aren't as situational as hitting 2 1 in 3s.
I mean, we are getting quite twisted over this 2 for 1 resource. But we know red gives you, as we said, Imperial HQ, which allows you to resolve one of your resource costs for nothing. And obviously, there's the big mama card, Electro Staff, which is going to be, this is what we wanted. So I'm definitely more excited about the red character. Don't know why I said it like that. Just because it gives Electro Staff to certain little peeps who need it easier, and a stick character.
Yeah, I think you pay 8 points for an 8 health character. That's always good value for your points of money, in my opinion. Whatever I was just trying to say, like anything, I look at that as a basis of like they've got to be have a really good dice or a really good ability. If I'm paying more for a single dice than their health, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
and 8 points for 8 health is fine.
Both the character and the weapon do have the resource side as well. So like logistics, which is obviously going to be around for the end of time. Allows you to create a lot of money to pay for all these heavy pay stuff.
That was in the 2-player set, wasn't it? Logistics.
It was.
So we've got that for like forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just don't know if it's going to be good enough, right? You've got 26 health. You can obviously run like cannon fodders and best defenses to PT or 2 guys.
Was this with Anakin, right?
With Anakin, I think Anakin's just straight up better than Sister.
I don't think you put the. I don't think you'd play the axe though, because if you're going to play Anakin, you're going to have Force Illusion. There's 2 slots. Ancient Lightsaber. There's 2 slots. Electro Staff. That's
heirlooms.
Heirloom lightsabers. Z6s. That's your upgrade suite right there. You're not going to put this in. If this was if this was 1, then it would be playable. But it's so unplayable at 2. The problem is the difference between 1 and 2 is so much more than the difference between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So
it's all your money for that turn, right? So you're not paying any mitigation until you roll out or whatever, and it is like when you compare it to the H17, you're right. It's the same die, just with the resource instead of the shield, which is massively better, but it's not a whole resources.
Just when you straight up compare it to Electro Staff, Electro Staff is just better.
Yeah, totally. Especially even with these guys, which is sad because you'd hope they'd be like the only way I see this weapon getting played, and the Executioner as well will shine, is in what a lot of people came away from Worlds with whispers of, and when we've seen these guns, is a whole thing called they call them tribes, I think, right, in card games. So like 5 or 6 character suites as opposed to 3 or 2. And that's when you'll see people whack out Executioners with the Executioner's axe as well, because and Balatik, these are the cards that will shine in that meta. So in a vacuum right now, it's not looking great, but these abilities might be insane, nuts, bonkers. Like if guns seem to be the thing to beat, which God forbid. Right.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind killing wave after wave.
No, you're not right.
The Gungans are a race of fine. It's just bloody Jar Jar Binks.
Is Boss Nass fine?
Yeah, Boss Nass is what's the actor?
He's Brian
Blessed.
Brian Blessed, exactly, and he improvised that, didn't he? He improvised that, and they fucking loved it.
Animators.
They absolutely loved it. And also, like in Last Shot, which is a book I just finished, is like it's about Lando and Han. They meet a Gungan, and he's like talks normally, and like when they meet him, like Han starts speaking to him, he's like Misa, and he's like before you start giving me all that Misa bullshit and all this, he's like, how many Gungans have you met? We're not all like that. So he's basically like a massive, digger. Like we aren't all like fucking Jar Jar. Some of us are actually intelligent and can talk.
Talking about books, I'll just finish the Aftermath series. Amazing series. They do interludes of like what characters are up to, and there is an interlude on Jar Jar. So spoiler alert, he's still going, but he is basically like a clown on streets. No, like literally, he's been shunned by the rest of the Gun community and gets like food and shit thrown at him, and like lives off scraps on the streets of Naboo. It's amazing. Kids laugh at him and throw shit. So
you're talking about those things I can't read again.
Just live your life, mate. Just live your life.
Yeah.
You're not living your best life right now.
No.
Wow.
So
national champion.
So we talked loads before we start recording because we're really good to make really good points before we start recording, and now I can't remember if we've made every single point that we.
I think we just about covered.
I think we have, right? Yeah. We're like on point as always. This is our first video in I don't know how long.
Too long. So thank you very much for supporting us and watching. See
me and James, I've got we were going to just do it like a normal podcast about Euros, but it's been too long now, so no one's interested
Yeah,
in that.
see, this is the problem. Like, you guys need me too much.
But I'm a busy man.
I'm
I
a-
have
I'm a-
important business.
I worked 80
commence.
hours last week. 80 hours.
Yeah, but you sleep for most of that.
No.
Come on.
No. I did 3 sleeps, so there was
There we go.
21 of those hours I was in bed.
So in bed. Guys, come on. Guys, you
No,
don't
no.
see the
Not even
Hyperloops doing
21.
this, do you?
Oh.
You don't see Knights of Ren doing
Yeah,
this.
but look, the last
Jesus
time,
Christ.
like, what are the? I need to actually
So
supposedly.
embarrassing.
Mr.
But people
Sapphire
don't
listens
watch
to
them for
every
this.
piece of content, so we need to throw some shade at the Hyperloops.
What?
Boo,
So-
Hyperloops.
My little
God
bit of
damn.
spice
what's
to,
that?
to see if Mr. Sapphire listens to us is saying that before Worlds, their gauntlet didn't have Sabine Ezra on it. And he was going on and on about how he's going to play Mill, and Mill was featured predominantly on their gauntlet page.
Oh my
What
God.
hard counts as Mill people? It's Sabine Ezra.
Oh
Shots
my
fired.
God. Shots fired. Shots are fired.
Are you saying that that's shady, or are you saying that's genius?
I'm not-
Because if
Hey,
you...
I'm not saying anything. I'm just firing shots.
Just letting people know. Just spreading the good word.
just firing
spreading
blanks
the
as
good
per
word.
usual.
Wait. Wow. Wow.
I
All right, mister. I've almost made a child.
I don't know where that came from, but I hope I haven't
Aggression.
I hope I haven't touched some like real dark like personal problem you've been having.
No, thankfully, I'm not an idiot and don't want a tiny human because I can still go to
Oh my
card
God.
game tournaments.
No,
'cause I
all
collect
his
Dragon Ball
money was going to
Super.
be on cribs and stuff, and it's just gone into.
Look,
games.
I was going to go to a tournament on Saturday. No one else was going to go, and then I convinced Simon to stop being a fucking pussy and go, and then he decided to be a pussy again. And then, in all fairness, I then love you, Si, and then I woke up and I was just like, yeah, I'm really tired. I could drive an hour and a half to this tournament, get really pissed off, or I could just stay in bed and then
Yeah.
enjoy a day off this week. So I did that instead. But it's fine.
Sounds fair.
We're going to go to. We got a tournament going to on Friday in
Yeah, we have.
4 days' time. It's gonna be great.
I'm going to win myself a store championship. I'm
Well-
also undefeated store champion in the store I won my champion in because they're not running it again.
Well, yeah, but it's down to Steve's the current champion of this store.
Yeah.
Steve is the champion at Cambridge, so can he retain his
Can't
title?
wait to play some stairs.
Are you not
Please, new set.
I was
Please.
I was today. I got in from work and I was like, do you know what? Before I knew we had our spoilers, I thought I might play some TTS. So I played some TTS the other day with
Ugh.
Game Slayer, and it was really good. I had fun, and I was like, I might do it. And then I was like, oh man, but I can't wait for the new set to come out because I'm so sick and tired of playing these cards. And also, I thought, well, everyone watch the video because everyone's got to be sick and tired of like watching videos on the old stuff. Everyone wants the shiny. So I went to sleep instead.
Nice.
It's a good decision. Always
Good story
decision.
as well. I really liked how it ended.
Sleep
Yeah,
is
it was a strong. I learned a lot. That was a good arc.
Yeah.
And your characters progressed massively.
Yeah, you're right better than George Lucas. I'll give you that.
well, there was no hidden racism in it, so it was obviously good.
Oh.
Shots fired, George. We know you listen to this show. Come on. Bring it
I'm a
on.
Targaryen. Man tricks don't work on me. Oh,
But long and the short, here's 2 cards. We talked about them. They look nice. They're red. They have sticks on them.
they are right.
You can listen to other people's opinions. We were maybe going to talk about the other cards, but other people have talked about them. So just go listen
Yeah.
just go to Double Blanks. Listen to them.
Although they're trash.
Yeah, but
Have you seen that Double Blanks have started their board game review channel as well? Deep fried South California chicken or whatever it's called.
Chicken California Southern Games time.
How y'all doing? I can
Yeah.
barely read the roll book, but here's
That's all right. We'll play ourselves some ball games and drink some sweet tea.
some sweet tea.
And
Who else can we flame?
CX3 with his sweet tea.
The
Love you,
Knights
Chris.
of Ren,
Love you, Jay.
Sugi has started his Legion podcast when he didn't even buy the game himself. He kickstarted people buy the game for him. That's pretty excellent. Good job, Sugi.
Good man.
If people want to buy me board games, PM me.
People don't even want to pay to listen to us speak. They're not going to fucking give you money to buy something else. With our
Speaking of money, I hear Hyperloops need some more. So maybe join their paywall.
Oh, that's one thing we should talk about. The Your Destiny podcast. Awesome guys. I'm on their writing team. I can't write.
You can't write. You can't read. You can't. How can you write?
It's going to be.
Are you jumping ship? Are you realise this is a sinking ship? I'm going to jump on. I'm going to jump on the hype of the hard work of Your Destiny. He puts in more work than Leighton and James. Well, James puts in no work. So I'm gonna.
I'm a student.
He's a student. He doesn't understand the meaning.
I tell you what though, Health-O-Matic, this is a public execution from Danny on this video.
Is it?
Well, you're about to lead three-man meta.
I mean, I am the three-man meta. How can I leave it?
It's in you at all times.
The 3 men of meta are constantly.
Oh, you went then.
You did. Probably a good job. Probably a good job of that.
Those lonely nights in this hotel room. Guys.
So what are you going to say about Your Destiny? The second best podcast.
The second best European podcast. Great bunch of guys. They've launched their website. I'm going to write articles for them or do like.
I'm sorry. I'm shutting you down. This is a conflict of interest. Hard right now. You can go fuck yourselves. Your Destiny trash. All trash.
I thought you were going to talk about the other podcast that charged people $5 to get some fucking cards on TTS, and then the Australian guys just put it all for free. That was brilliant. I love that. That was great.
Like, you are a champion down under, and you still. When I met him at Worlds, he was like, "We're going to get you on. We're going to get drunk, and we're going to chat shit." And it's not happened yet.
No.
Just saying, I was giving them all the updates at Euros. Just getting binned off.
We need to do a drunk cast. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, if anyone paid £5 for some cards they could have imported into fucking TTS themselves, then
well, it came with the dice. I think the guy was selling the dice as well.
The dice are just as fucking easy, man.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's hard.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Ice Yeti, for maintaining the mod, even though you hate it. I don't know if you hate it. I just assume you do.
It's like, what have I created?
Also, let's all just remember that nice guy called Danny Adlam who scanned all of his Legacy collection to be imported onto TTS.
You didn't scan them in straight though, did you? So you probably spent ages having to straighten them all up. I saw those scans. They're on the fucking piss.
I can be helpful, but not that helpful. So everyone who's played on TTS with Legacies cards, you're playing with the UK National Champions collection.
Are you the reason why you got a shit guard? Oh, that was the previous set, wasn't it?
No, that's a previous set. Yeah.
Yeah, that guard is fucking squiffy.
That is bad.
Sort out Ice Yeti.
He's like, it works. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Then I'm going to get a cease and desist at some point anyway.
Nah, it's not worth it. Okay, I think we're done, right? We're at.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had. What more did you want? I mean, you come on. You got to see 2 new cards. You got fucking hard for that. You also got to hear our voices and us talk shit for 10 extra minutes. So this has been a good day for you.
That is solid content.
Is it like a good 20 minutes long?
Also, England won 2-1 in the World Cup. That was good. Ball, footy.
Was it?
They did a kick.
Oh, he kicked the ball again.
And it went in the ball.
And we're applauding.
And it went in the goal. It was good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
anyway.
I'm just trying to think if I can throw shade at anyone else, but
we've also probably, like I said, we've also probably completely forgot not mention anything on camera that we said previously about these cards. But you know what? You can come up with some good ideas of what they do, because you can. You've got the power.
Yeah.
So we just
look deeper than yourself.
I did the classic. Let's post some photos of the spoilers up like 20 minutes before we release this video. And we only have one angry face from Rob from Your Legion podcast. So
I don't know who these people are. Right, we're going to go. We'll maybe speak to you again next week where we tell you how we won Cambridge Store Championships. Because let's face it, one of us is going to win it. I'm really looking forward to bringing home my second place Ahsoka.
Can't wait to win my store championship. Get another buy.
Yeah.
that's enough from me.
It's definitely not enough from me. You're going to hear me a lot.
All right.
Yeah.
So enjoy these cards. Here you go. There
yeah.
again. Executioner. There he is. Look at him in his beauty. Oh, look at him. Look at his beautiful chops. And then there's the Executioner.
It's sexy.
So I really hope
a good looking card.
I really hope the levels on this recording is fine. If they're not, fuck off.